this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no
Wait a
one.
second.
No.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
I'm going to say hello there. We're starting a new series, but it's only a 3-parter. And it is, I've had these old comic book boxes for ages. I used to be a huge comic book collector. You know me when I was. And I had tons of these. But I just got rid of a huge bulk of it and kept just the ones that mattered a lot to me. But I don't even remember half of what I've got. So I figured it would just be fun to just unearth this stuff and just take a look at it. See what we've got.
Let's find out.
Alright, so we're just going to start pulling little bits. And I'll start from the back.
Okay.
The back.
Sounds like a plan.
So let's just take a few here. And then I'm just going to go whoop and go through here. So let's see here. We've got some Eat Man. You've seen Eat Man.
No, actually I have not.
Oh, Eat Man's fun.
I know, I'm slacking.
It's about this guy who, and I've got the anime. It's about this guy who, I think Bolt Crank is his name. And essentially, he can get the stuff taken apart and he can eat it. He can eat almost anything. And if he eats the parts, he can materialize them whole again, like this gun, at any time he wants. I think I got most of the individual comic run. Back in the day, they were releasing manga in this format. But look at the art. I love the art on these.
Fu is determined to be part of the shows.
Yeah, the cats. Kitties, man. Yep, again. I swear, this cat. So, I also got some, what they call Hackmasters of Evernight, which was a kind of nice at a dinner table, except they illustrated them as the adventures are taking place. There he goes.
Now, like, Hackmaster was the game they were playing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you get to see them in the groups. And it was a really fun series. I think I got that entire one in the individual run, which is a good one. And Jolly's a good guy. He's pretty active on Facebook. He'll accept most people's friend requests if he's not full. And now I can't guarantee you that he'll keep you. It depends on how much you clash with his political beliefs. And if you want to know his political beliefs, he used to skew more towards the right. Now he skews more center-left. So if you're a far-right person, just be careful about, like, I mean, you don't have to be careful. He's a pretty nice guy. But if you start, saying, like, calling him libtard and stuff like that, it probably won't go well.
You should think that wouldn't go well in most cases.
Well, actually, that's the problem. He's actually had to boot people for calling him that.
Oh.
Or being, like, really disrespectful to other members of the group like that. And that's the problem. You got to be respectful,
Yeah.
I mean, there's more like that Evil Dead look. He's got the sword arm.
Yeah.
More of that. Well, I kind of like the artwork on it. Almost looks like a bone. The spine thing there. More over there. Alright, now this is one that I got a couple of these, Antarctic Press. they did Gold Digger, which a friend of mine was really into. So I got a couple of these. What was it?
Shisuji.
I never really got into it, but I thought, oh, I'll catch it at the time. I'm surprised I kept these. I'll really tell you the truth. But it's kind of, I like the art style. I do like the colors. And of course, Youngblood #2. There's a reason why I've got Youngblood #2. Shadowhawk's first appearance. $4.50 when I bought it.
Probably still worth about that.
Back in the old like Image days.
Dang.
I got a couple of Image comics. This must be like one of my weirdo stacks. Violator. And they had like a limited run series. Here.
One I never cared for.
And he ended up losing his powers or something, and then he had to band together with somebody. It was
wasn't that like one of Spawn's antagonists?
There's one that could be worth some money. Spawn #2. And this is one that could be worth some money. First appearance of Spawn. Spawn #1.
Yeah, I could imagine.
I don't know if it's worth money or not. Comics these days are a little bit harder to gauge.
What's up, Rosie?
As far as to whether they're worth something. These days, I don't really care. I collect. I usually keep not stuff that I feel for value, but I kept stuff I liked, story wise. I sold some stuff that actually had value. So there's going to be a lot of Shadowhawk stuff here. There's the Shadowhawk Vampirella crossover, where he becomes a vampire and he's looking for a cure for AIDS. And let's see, I'm going to put that there because I'm going to start a new pile. There's the Shadowhawk Gallery, and that one was important because it started off his quest to try and find the cure for AIDS, which we'll not get into whether he survived or failed. It's a very old series, so it's there. That's the last issue of Shadowhawk, where he fights Hawk Shadow. It was a very epic showdown, whereas Shadowhawk was revealed, and if you don't know anything about Shadowhawk and you don't want spoilers, fast forward. But Shadowhawk, it turns out to be this black guy, XDA. And this dude here is kind of like a Klansman. And he thought Shadowhawk was white. And he emulated him. And so he kind of was the anti-Shadowhawk, essentially. He was killing people where Shadowhawk was breaking their spines. By this time, Shadowhawk realized breaking spines was kind of like, after this quest to cure AIDS kind of fell flat. He ended up, times are different. He ended up fighting him as his last fight, and it was an epic battle. I mean, that's a pretty cool cover, don't you think?
Yeah.
There he is. That was again his adventure to try and cure AIDS. Gosh, it was only 18 issues long. Shadowhawk. There he is with Supreme. I was obsessed with this character at one point in time.
I barely remember him.
I thought he was
But then
such a cool
I was
character.
hit or miss on Image. I kind of got into it, but not really. I collected a few. You know, I'm much more into it now than I was back then, actually.
Okay, this is when he did a crossover with the Wildcats.
I had a few Wildcats comics.
There he is with Chapel.
I have one of the toys actually too.
They went over to DC and became part of Wildstorm, if I recall correctly.
I don't recall.
Now, what they did is instead of doing these as issues, they did them in volumes. Like this is volume 3. And that was kind of a cool like slime creature that they fought, like an alien-esque slime creature. There's another one there, and there's you see that's. There's another one kind of emulates the original cover. You seen that one?
I believe so.
I like this cover. They used to do a lot of special covers back in the day because we used to think comics were worth something, and they tried to trick us.
Well, and also just when collectors want the cool ones and the rare ones and all that, you know.
You have Shadowhawk too.
Yeah.
That's a fold out.
Yeah. Yeah, you get all those prism covers.
This is when he confronted Hawk Shadow, and this is where you actually got to see his real identity. Before that, you didn't know what he was. And of course, look at that one. That's a kind of cool thing where it's got the stuff cut out like that.
Okay. Die cut, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That was another thing that was popular.
Number 4, where he fights the Savage Dragon.
Ah.
The artwork is really good in those. Number 2, actually number 3. This one's glow in the dark. By the way.
Humans found a way to put Savage Dragon in everything, didn't they?
Yeah, he was an interesting character.
Yeah.
Of course, there's 2 where he fights that flame bug guy, who he changed into somebody else, but later in the series. And that's, of course, the original. There were 2 versions of this. This is the more valuable version, supposedly, because there was a regular version. I had a copy of the regular for a while. There's the 0 issue. I remember when 0 issues were supposed to be like really, you know, big. Oh, speaking of Savage Dragon. His first appearance.
Okay.
So, moving over. Don't. Okay, I think we're good. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, this is about when I liked Pitt. Now, Pitt was moved to a company called Full Bleed, which that was the last issue. I collected 15. It just became so uneven. I don't know why I really liked Pitt. I mean, you see it. I mean, the art style was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, Pitt 14.
Yeah.
Pitt 13. Where it's like evil Pitt. He was sort of like, I guess, a competitor with the Hulk. I think he even had a Pitt versus Hulk comic.
Okay.
There's another. And there's this little boy that he had a connection to that has psychic powers. And now we go all the way up to 9, which is what it got to at Image.
Okay.
Good God, it was inconsistent in its release. This is one I didn't do very good with the bag board. But, 8. 7. They just like to do a lot of close-ups of Pitt on those.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing was, he kind of mutated whenever you would beat on him or hit him. So that was kind of cool. His claws would get sharper, teeth sharper. Over there. More of the blood. That was the other thing, is that they didn't have to deal with the comics code like Marvel at the time, so they could show all the blood they wanted, which was a huge thing at that time.
Yeah, I guess. Might have been part of the reason I wasn't so interested.
Oh, I loved it when I was sitting there, because I just like, good, we're not stuck with
Look at how much blood.
It's just, I felt like, they were, angsty teens.
Huh.
There's the first issue. Ripping first issue, as they said, but it's not ripped.
It's like the exact same image in this one almost.
Yeah, I know. So this is the one that was done in this weird art style. I don't know if you... Images of Shadowhawk.
Yeah.
It was done in this... I can't think of the guy's name. Not Grifter, but...
Grifter.
I hated the name. I mean, I hated this comic, and I really didn't like the art style, but I liked Shadowhawk.
What was the name? I think...
That's the guy's comic. I can't think of the... I really can't think of the name of the guy.
Of course, now they're like emblazoned on the covers, and they weren't back in the day.
I was really into Cyberforce for a while.
I kind of remember that.
Back when everybody...
I think I have a couple of issues.
Cyberforce 3, when they fought Pitt.
No,
I just don't like the guy with the claws for hands.
I know. What was his name? I don't remember.
Claw Hand.
Claw.
He was Claw Hand. He had hands for claws, or claws for hands.
He had hands for claws. Okay.
I used to also like Wet
that.
Wipes,
Wait. Let me see. That one, maybe.
That's the same
I
thing.
remember her. The girl in the purple.
Well, this is the first issue, so maybe you can get a better... Because the first issue usually shows...
That I had. I did have that issue.
So, yeah.
Probably still do.
Dusty Corner Bookstore. Roanoke, Virginia. Brigade.
I don't even know that one.
I don't know it either at this point, but it had Shadowhawk in it at the time, so I got it.
Okay.
Okay, Bad Rock I knew of because he was in Youngblood.
No.
Um,
Okay.
again, Shadowhawk. All right, now I get some DC stuff. I think you recognize what this is from just the comic bag.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The obvious one.
Death of Superman.
So,
Spoiler.
God, this is an old school spoiler. This is the
I
series.
think I might have that one.
This got me into comic collecting in the first place. And I got rid of all the... I used to have Funeral for a Friend and the Rebirth of Superman, all that. But I got rid of all those. I only have right now just the Death of Superman storyline. I do know that much because I've actually broken into these and read them again. I actually really liked this story leading up to this fight. So, and it spanned through all the books.
Cool.
And even into Justice League, which many people are like, Justice League? That doesn't look like Justice League. That was the Justice League at that time.
Slightly different.
Slightly different from the Zack Snyder one.
Hmm.
And of course, that's where he popped out of the ground, Doomsday.
Oh, a certificate of authenticity.
Yep.
Couple of those.
So this is one of the few from that. My father got when I was had an operation. My father was trying to do something nice for me, so he got me a few autographed books from a comic store we used to have in Covington. So that was kind of cool. So yeah, this is actually by Jurgens and Breeding, of only 10,000 signed of this. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
And this one of Robin #1, which is Robin 3 #1, is the third Robin, but that's signed by
So it's Timmy.
Yep.
Timmy.
Grummett is the one who signed that one.
Okay.
I don't know half of these artists.
Mm.
And of course, this was my father's, but this is first appearance of Silver Age Hawkman.
Silver Age. That's impressive.
That's actually a fairly valuable comic.
I don't think I have. I think my oldest comic was an Uncanny X-Men from maybe 1979. Maybe.
So here's some you probably recognize, some Batman.
Yeah.
Batman.
I don't have that issue, but yeah.
I think I stopped collecting them around the time the Red Hood story ended, which was there.
Okay.
Which, where...
Is that one?
That's Robin, too.
Right. I know. I feel like I probably have part of the Red Hood story, but I can't remember.
I remember it funny because the Joker usually has the upper hand.
Yeah.
And then he's sitting there, even when he's like captured, he feels like he has the upper hand.
Yeah.
And Jason just starts basically laughing at him, and Joker could feel like he's the butt of the joke. And for once, Joker wasn't laughing. He was pissed off and he couldn't do anything about it.
He don't like it when he's not in charge.
So, that was a thing there. So, ooh, gosh. We're over halfway.
Yeah.
More of the Red Hood. I liked the Red Hood storyline.
It was. And it was a damn good animated movie, too.
There was a particular storyline, which we'll be covering here, that got me back into Batman briefly. And I collected it up until the end of the Red Hood thing. I was like, on kind of, interesting art style. Kind of almost calls back to the cartoon. Grave Consequences. Let's see here. Yeah, there's the, that's where the Red Hood is revealed.
Oh, yeah.
And you had sort of a cheat moment where Jason Todd came back. Amazo. But, and this was, of course, he was the villain in the Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah. Which, that's what it was. Not Birds of Prey. It was Harley Quinn.
So, let's see here. And that was the start of the Red Hood storyline. Of course, Red Hood being a callback to one of the potential Joker origin stories.
So...
Okay, so this being the end of the storyline that...
now, those are some artists I know.
Yes. Well, I'm pretty sure you can guess what storyline this ended. Think about the art style and who was writing at the time. You got Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee as the art.
That's about the end of Nightfall, isn't it?
Nope. Way later than Nightfall.
Then I don't know.
All right, well. You might be clued in as you go.
Okay.
That. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That. And that there.
Okay.
That. Of course, that's kind of more of just a generic.
Yeah.
When Jim Lee is one everybody knows.
Oh, yeah.
And Leo was actually the two. And of course, where the Joker was in.
Yeah.
That's when he thought the Joker was behind it, but for once, Joker wasn't behind it.
Ah, you're talking about Hush.
Yes, I figured you
Yes.
finally would get it there. I mean,
Ah.
one that, spoilers, the Riddler was the mastermind.
Yes.
And nobody had thought about the Riddler as the big bad guy
Yeah.
until, I guess, recently.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they handled him in the new Batman.
Supposedly quite well, if you don't mind him being the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't expect them to follow the comics. I'm happy if they even care that the comics existed. For that.
Well, supposedly the new movie is all about them going back to the roots of Batman as world's greatest detective,
Oh, we'll see.
which is nice.
I've heard it's a long one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It begins.
See, that was back when Ivy was still pretty much a villain.
So now we've got the Age of
Ooh.
Apocalypse, X-Men Prime.
Talk about your fancy covers, though. I remember that was a big deal when that came out.
Let's see if I got all of Age of Apocalypse. I don't know if I did.
You got a lot of it, I know.
X-Men Omega.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's shiny.
Very shiny.
I know you read these.
Yes.
Okay,
A lot of them.
Yeah, I think I have all of them. Age of
Maybe
Apocalypse.
not all. Well, I haven't read all of it.
I liked this storyline.
That one, I have much of it.
I apparently have it not in, just like the other stuff, I have it in the story order,
I
not comic
think Gambit
order.
and the Externals
Oh, the
is one that I think I read the whole thing, but I don't think I have the whole thing.
So, you
A
know.
rare instance where
X-Universe.
Lila Cheney was a major part of the series.
This is odd because this series talked about the people that were the humans that were left.
Yeah, I never
We
saw
had
that.
Daredevil and a couple of others there, which
I
was
don't even
kind of
remember.
cool.
I don't even know about
Weapon
that.
X.
Okay, yeah. I think that was one I barely looked at.
Factor X, where you had Havoc, and Havoc was a real asshole in that one.
So was Cyclops.
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
both.
The Cyclops
dicks in
was
that
sort
one.
of a good guy. He changed to a good guy.
Yeah, but
And
I mean,
Beast was really evil
Oh,
too.
jeez.
But she came over from the Age of
yes,
Apocalypse
and remained
too.
evil.
There's the evil Beast.
Yes.
Astonishing X-Men. I actually like the art style in Astonishing X-Men. The Rogue there.
I quite like that one overall. This was the series that took a one-off character that had been introduced only to die and brought her back and made Blink a central character.
How's our time looking?
Yes.
Oh, it's looking good.
And that also, I think, was the one that brought back Morph from the dead, so that made people happy.
Generation Next, which
Yeah.
and a lot of these were
Okay,
takeovers
that
of
one-
old comics.
That one
were there.
pissed me off. Pissed me off. Kitty Pryde is not supposed to be such a bitch.
I don't know. She could be.
But not that bad.
And of course, Excalibur.
Yes.
But they took a lot of the existing
Yeah.
X comics and then converted them to Age of Apocalypse versions of them. And there's that first episode of X Universe.
Hmm.
Then Weapon X.
Mm-hmm.
X-Man. He also made the trip over with Forge.
Yeah.
Which is a very interesting version of Forge.
Mm-hmm.
And Generation Next again.
Mm-hmm.
So if I ever wanted to read this, it's all in order story-wise, so I could just pick it up and go directly as
Oh,
it's
really?
supposed to go. Yeah, because
Okay.
this is how you're supposed to read it.
Okay, I was wondering about your order there.
That's why I had it. It's like how Hush is, or how
Uh-huh.
Superman storyline is. I just did it in story order.
Okay.
Amazing X-Men.
Sorry.
That's the other thing, is also you got to see that Magneto truly became the leader of the Rebellion for Good.
Yeah.
And there's the evil beast.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Mm-hmm.
and let's see here. Astonishing X-Men again with Rogue kicking ass.
Kicking ass.
And of course, the Age of Apocalypse, The Chosen, which was one of those special ones. I think that was one of the early shots.
I remember that. I remember that card series. We were all about that.
That must have come into it at the time. It was probably a wizard, because actually not wizard. Gosh, what do they call it?
Might have been wizard. Oh.
But of course, another one of these. And then, of course, another generation next.
Cool.
And Excalibur.
All right.
Age of Apocalypse again there. Gambit and Externals. And a Weapon X. That went on for what, a year?
Ish.
It was Factor X.
And it was right before I kind of stopped collecting for a while. I kind of was mixed in my reception to Age of the Apocalypse. And then when they came back, I think it was 2 issues after this, that they went and eviscerated Psylocke, and that kind of ticked me off. So, wait, is that the one?
They say they could do almost anything they wanted to with this world, because, again, they didn't plan on keeping it.
No, I mean back when they got back to the real world. Yeah. Well, we'll call it the real world, but you know what I mean. I know I had Weapon X #1. Actually, I think I had all the #1s.
Of course, Gambit and the X. I like that Gambit and the Externals cover.
Yeah.
And of course, Excalibur and that cover.
Yeah.
And then
this was a time where they had some pretty dynamic covers for the most part, and I like the art for the most part.
I considered the late '90s, early 2000s as kind of a golden age of comics.
Another shiny one.
I think that's the that was Alpha.
Shiny, yeah. Alpha was actually a hot commodity for a minute there.
And of course, X-Men Chronicles. And X-Men Chronicles 1.
Okay.
Some more of these things, like a mini comic and a card that came with it. And of course, that was where Legion was introduced. He killed, well, he wasn't introduced there, but he killed Legion Quest 4. I don't think I got all the
Now, he was introduced in New Mutants, what was it, 25 or something like that?
So there's X-Men number 3. I wonder if I have my Executioner Songs ones, too. So I'm missing 4 over there. And of course, this one was a hot commodity at the time.
Actually, I think I'm missing 3, honestly. I know I have 4.
Then Ecstatics.
Ah, jeez.
They took over for X-Force after.
Right.
Which I think I still have the entire run of that.
From what I understand, that was not the best received series.
It was
And
something.
I have mixed feelings about the artwork.
Oh, I do have the Executioner Song.
Okay.
Some more of that. That's the... Oh, Ecstatics presents Dead Girl. Okay, that's...
Okay.
There's more of that, as you can see.
Ah.
The art style was very... Because they were basically just we're in it for the money.
Yeah.
And it was odd that this took over for X-Force at the time. It was X-Force for a time. Very odd, simplistic art. I only have about 2 handfuls left. Which is why I'm doing these only one box per episode.
X-Force at one point became kind of a mercenary outfit, didn't it?
Yeah, this was the one, because they kind of were like... this one kind of was like Tiger and Bunny style.
Oh.
Because it was like very corporatized. As you can see. And definitely the Ecstatics ones. Ecstatic did not last long. But, you know, it was kind of cool to have them as a, I guess, alternative. I wasn't a huge fan.
You got more of them than I do.
I guess I kept them around because they were very artsy. I mean, like, this is Mr. Sensitive. And Mr. Sensitive was known because he's able to, like, basically, he's got super sensitive skin to the point where he has to actually wear a special costume. And there. They really had a big thing on Dead Girl and a couple others there. Really had no relationship to the original X-Force whatsoever. So I'm glad that they changed their name to Ecstatics. I mean, you know. But yeah, Dead Girl was really popular at the time. This guy was pretty popular. I remember it was an asshole. And then Dupe actually survived for a little while longer.
Dupe, I've actually seen in some of the X-Men comics. Well, that's
because he was kind of a weird teleporter guy.
Yeah.
And he kind of, like I said, he kind of lasted a while after. And there. And there. Okay. So, now we get to the end of Executioner's Song, which was the epilogue there. These are in order, two of the series, I think. So that, and the end of that.
Yeah.
That was my by far, that's my favorite X-Men storyline. And I got all the cards.
And it ended right before the comics that started my collection.
I hated the artwork this guy did. I did not like his art style. But, you know, I like the cards, and I like the concept. I mean, it introduced a lot of things, like, that's how you got the, God, what was that virus's name?
The Legacy
virus.
Yeah.
Which Mr. Sinister unwittingly released on the world, which is probably one of the few times he was actually tricked.
Yeah.
And they each came with their cards. You can see the cards on each one.
I got a few
like
of them.
that.
I had probably half of this series, not all of it. But
And of course, Cable's X-Force was kind of like going strong at the time. So, but it was at the time that Cable had left them. So they were vulnerable, and they ended up, and of course, it looked like Cable had tried to assassinate Professor Xavier.
yeah.
And it turned out not so much. So, of course, now
Not so much.
there's the original X-Force, which I have pretty much all of those. And those are the annuals. So of course, there it is. Everybody's favorite. That's annual 2. I don't know what that was. Yeah, it's a 99 when they started doing years instead of numbering them. So yeah, as you can see, Ecstatics again, everybody's favorite. So Dead Girl. So this kind of man, I didn't know I actually collected them all the way up to here. I think I did collect them at one point, but I wasn't all that into them.
Most of.
You see, there was a time when I really liked the New Mutants, and X-Force was a offshoot of the New Mutants.
Right. One could easily make the argument that like the last 7 or 8 issues of New Mutants were actually X-Force.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, certainly the last 3 or 4.
And the annuals that introduced Cable and all that.
Wait, yeah, so no, Cable was the last, I think, 4 issues of New Mutants. So
I'm just going to hand these
that's
off to
about
the
it.
side
Okay.
and just show them real quick so I can put them here and I'll just slide them back. Oh, and that.
Okay.
I think that was the first. Yeah, that was the very first introduction of them.
Okay.
I think half of these people died in the first issue.
Ha.
Then, of course, the last X-Force thing.
Oh.
X-Forces.
Okay.
X-Force took a lot of different turns
Yeah.
over the
Now,
years.
who is in this turn that you're looking at?
I'm not sure, because they aren't really dressed up, I'll tell you the truth.
Because I read some X-Force comics where it was like, it
There's
was,
Cable.
yeah, no, it was Archangel, Psylocke, Wolverine, Phantom X, and a couple others.
Saw Cannonball there. And
Yeah. Well, he was
Couple
with them
others.
for a while.
that one.
Yeah. Oh, lovely.
We're almost to the end of this.
Okay.
Because I'm actually at the last batch.
Okay.
Domino.
Domino, yeah.
So you know Domino.
Oh, I know Domino.
More of that.
Oh, Domino.
And they've kind of been...
Okay.
I want to say the last incarnation of X-Force was when they were really accepted as an X-Team for a while.
Okay.
And so they were officially an X-Team. Whereas for a while they were the outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a sad thing, but you know.
Okay.
I'm moving quick.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch images. Say, okay, go ahead.
You know. You know that one.
Yeah.
That was during the time that Scarlet Witch sapped all the powers.
Ah, that one. The No More Mutants thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Which did affect for a while. And Danny Moonstar came back for a while.
Cool.
And this, which is probably one of the reasons why I decided, okay, I'll collect it, because she was my favorite New Mutant.
But she was pretty cool.
So yeah, Black Queen and I can't think of. Oh, and Sunspot.
Sunspot. Okay.
You can see it. So yeah, there. Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Joseph was around them as well for a while.
Right.
We all know, well, not all of us know Joseph, but some of us know Joseph.
Right.
Joseph was sort of Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
I think Boom Boom was in there. Boomer.
She was for a while.
I don't even know what her name
See,
was.
she was one of the reasons why I got pissed off and stopped collecting for a while, because it was her dumbass that let Sabretooth out to almost kill Psylocke.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
Feral.
I remember, actually, one of my favorite X-Force stories was one that involved Feral and her sister Thorn. That was a really fun one.
We won't be getting into any classic X-Force this time.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like in the 20s, I think.
That was like 80s. We're gonna be next time. We're probably gonna be looking at a lot of X-Force.
Okay.
A lot of X-Force.
Okay.
Because I think we're gonna get down to like the 70. Maybe actually not even that. I think we'll get down to 80 at this point because we're almost done.
Oh. All right.
So I mean, I love looking back through the comic art of the old days.
The old days.
Well, that's what it is essentially.
Well, not quite, but again, the old days for me is like the early 90s, and that's even like not the old days.
We're looking at over 20 years ago.
Yeah, this stuff?
Yes, this is in the late 90s.
Wow.
Yeah, this is not 2000s at all. That annual was 99.
All right.
So we're looking at
Good times.
We're looking at stuff that's like old.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, click that like button, hit that subscribe, and share, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.